We got our couples. We got Kwame and Chelsea, Tiffany and Brett, and we got Bliss and Zach. Okay, Irina fumbled the bag at the honeymoon. Jackie and Marcia fell apart. They shouldn't even been together. And Paul and Micah didn't work out because they played themselves in the pods. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This video, we are still talking about Love is Blind, y'all. Season 4, episodes 11 and 12. We're going to get to the weddings. Finally, we got to decision day. Okay, before we get into anything, please don't hesitate to click that thumbs up button. I appreciate your support. Also, I appreciate you subscribing. I really do appreciate y'all doing that. Help this channel to grow, continue to grow. It's continually growing every day, so I appreciate y'all. Also, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this season of Love is Blind. It was real messy. Not a lot of love, but it was some love in there, though, some good love in there. We're going to talk about that. Also, don't forget to share the video. Also, next week is my birthday. Well, not next week, but the 26th of April is my birthday. I'm a Taurus. So I am celebrating my birthday all month, and I thought, why not give the opportunity to receive some love? I'm more of a giver, and I'm trying to work on receiving. So if you want to give me a happy birthday shout out in the comments, I appreciate it. If you want to send me a token of love for my birthday, my Cash App is Queen B Yvonne. That's a capital Q on Queen, a capital B, and a capital YVONNE. Okay, so that's $ Queen B Yvonne. I'll flash it on the screen as well. Appreciate anything, just even a happy birthday. Somebody already wished me a happy birthday in the comments in the last video, and thank you for doing that. Happy birthday to me. I'll be 35, like I said, week after next. So anyway, let's get into the video. Y'all didn't come here to hear about my birthday. So, okay, so we're going to get to, we'll do the weddings last. We'll talk about episode 11 first, and then we'll get down to the weddings, okay? Or we'll go couple by couple. So, first off, in episode 11, we do see Kwame and Chelsea having another one of their long, drawn-out talks. I'm so sick of it. Chelsea sitting up in bed with that sweater on, talking about, before last night, whenever she felt ready to say yes, she felt good about marrying Kwame, but then now she don't know because Kwame, he don't know if he can go through with it because he don't have the backing of his mama. Remember, I don't know if I mentioned the last video, but the last episode or two, he tried to call his mama again. She wasn't answering. He talked to his brother, and the brother was like, you got to make the decision that's for you. So she was like, you're making it like it's going to, Chelsea is saying, you're making it like it's going to be this negative thing. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to have trials and tribulations. We're going to have issues, but I see nothing but good coming from this. I just see all these good things we're going to do and all these good memories. And yeah, we're going to have our struggles, but it's going to be good. And Kwame was like, yeah, maybe I'm thinking of it as a more negative way. But at the end of the day, we have to be ready for anything that can happen. At the end of the day, we got to make a decision, whatever decision we both make on decision day. It's got to be the decision that makes us both happy. And then she's like, well, why wouldn't I be happy? I wouldn't be in this with you if I wasn't happy. And he's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. He was like, you know what I mean? Come on, we got to, make a decision here. And so Chelsea's living in La La Land and Kwame's trying to live in reality. I get it. Yeah. So anyway, they had a typical back and forth, and she said, no matter what you do, no matter what happens, I'm in this with you. We're in it together, whether you get the, proof of your mom or not. We're in this together, and basically she gonna stick beside her man. Okay. So then we see Micah and Paul. This wasn't really giving much, but them making their awkward jokes like they do. You don't even see a connection between these two, so I already know what was going to happen on decision day. Decision day did not surprise me. Their wedding day did not surprise me. So anyway, Paul's packing up because, he can't stay with her the night before the wedding. So he rolling his clothes and stuffing them in the suitcase, trifling. He told her, don't have too much fun at the bachelorette party. She telling him, he better come back with his 13 ones. All right. Nothing really to talk about there, y'all. Then, y'all have to excuse me if I sniffle too. I'm still congested. I'm trying to get over it before I go back to work tomorrow. Anyway, Brett and Tiffany. So we see Brett and Tiffany, and I love this scene. Brett and Tiffany go down to somewhere and meet up with Brett's brother. I can't remember his name. I feel like it was Thomas, but I don't think that was right. And his dad. Brett shared that his dad and mom had not, traveled on a plane since before he was born, and that was the 80s. So the fact that his brother and his dad were able to make this trip out here, short notice for them to come see him get married was amazing, and it really was. And so Brett's dad was joking with him like, how much you pay to get a pretty lady like this? And he's like, see, I told you my dad's gonna be messing with him. Brett looked just like his dad, don't he? Anyway, I'm not sure if that brother was older or younger either. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Anyway, the dad was saying, he knew that Brett liked Tiffany when he called him, and the way he was talking about everything. He's never talked about, a woman like this before, and Brett tends to go after the things he wants. And so he said that, it's a unique way that they met, but, he's here for it. The dad was very supportive of Brett and Tiffany. He could tell. And he asked Tiffany what was it about Brett that she liked, and she, talked about all the things she'd been talked about before in the past that she liked about Brett. And so he was like, yeah, I could tell, you're really smitten with him, and you guys are smitten with each other. I could see, things working out. And he was saying him and his wife been together a long time as well. So Brett said that he really liked that Tiffany, his family doesn't really show each other they love each other. Like, they support each other, and they're tight-knit, but they don't really say I love you and things like that a lot, or hug a lot. I think he said they don't hug a lot. And so Tiffany, expressed how she felt about Brett early on and all the time, and he really liked that. And so the brother asked Tiffany, how did they grow up? Like, oh, sorry, y'all, my stomach growling. I ain't had my breakfast yet. So, he's like, was y'all middle class, upper class, working class? What was y'all doing? So she was like, no, my parents, they did not have much growing up, but, when they got together, they worked hard to give me and my siblings everything, and, do the best that they can by us. And so the dad, he could really relate to that, and they all just kind of came together. And the dad was like, yeah, we used to be more tight-knit, and, we've been through a lot, but, we definitely are there for each other as well. And so the brother was like, one more thing. Do you like my hairstyle? Tiffany said, what? He said, do you like my hairstyle? She said, oh, yeah. I want you to, I like it. I want you to be yourself, of course. I said, good answer, Tiffany, because you lying. But yeah, we like it. We like it. Yeah, we like it. No, nothing wrong with Afro. Nothing wrong with Afro. He got that grizzly bear look, okay? Anyway, I can see Brett is there for definitely that, like, person in the family that, like, branched out. You know what I mean? You could definitely tell. So anyway, then we get down to the bachelor and the bachelorette parties, right? And so we see all the girls going down to the bar. They wasn't really doing that. And, like, I don't know if they were supposed to have male strippers or what they were supposed to have, but they wasn't doing that. And Chelsea over there shouting like, yes, ain't my ring, girl. I'm getting married. She take all these pictures. She talking about she the stripper. She said she don't have no problem being extra. Why not be yourself, be extra? I said, we can tell, girl, you do the most. Tiffany was like, girl, Chelsea always loud. So then we seen Micah with Shelby and some other friend. I don't think it was Michaela. And then she's like, girl, have you seen my ring? Have you met Paul? And then the other friend hadn't met Paul yet. Shelby's like, yeah, Paul's really nice. He's a nice guy. He's really nice. So I don't know. Micah just deserves everything. Jackie just deserves everything. And they're like, let's call Paul. Let's call Paul. Yeah, call Paul. They've been drinking. So then they call Paul down to the FaceTime, right? And then Paul can't hear nothing because it's loud where he at. Zach on the camera. They like, meet my friend. I want you to meet my friend. Like, oh my God, Zach, oh my God, Paul, we're going to come down there. We're going to crash your bachelor party. We're going to come down there. And so then the phone hung up and they were like, oh my God, he hung up on us. Oh my God, he hung up on us. And then they were like, no, Paul tried to call us back 4 times. He tried to call back to back. And then Mike was like, so girl, you still not with it? Like, girl, what's good? And so then she was like, no, I just, I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. I don't know. And so Mike was like, they were like, do you feel like you're doing the right thing? She's like, I feel like I'm making the decision that's best for me right now. I do. And I was like, you got to stick beside your man, Micah. Okay, claim it, claim it, claim it. That's the most claiming Micah's done in this whole process, though, okay? So then over there with Tiffany and her friends, Tiffany is her friend, I forgot the friend's name with the big curly hair. She was saying, you know, I'm wishing you guys the best. I know it's gonna work out, but my only concern is you guys have, you know, everything's been good. Like y'all been in the honeymoon season, y'all really haven't had any fights. Like I hope you know how to, you guys both know how to handle and communicate and deal with conflict. She's like, this girl, you could be like, I think Tiffany don't have a lot of patience. She could be gone because even the dad later on told her to be patient with him. So they was like, girl. So, you know, they wish her the best. We see Chelsea talking about Kwame's family not being supportive. But she still, you know, she still loves him and all that. And they're hoping to work it out. His mom, I guess, wants him to marry a traditional Ghanaian woman. And that is the part of the big issue. And so Chelsea was explaining that to her friends. Now, back over there with the bachelor party, that was whack. Why they always make the bachelor parties whack? So they had, they was trying to get Brett to drink, I don't know if it was dark liquor or some, whatever kind of liquor, but he's like, he's like, you know, y'all don't do that. I only do the dark liquor. I don't, whatever kind of liquor they was trying to get him to do. He was like, nah. I was like, oh, we don't want to see the other side of Brett. Okay, so then Kwame was talking to his friends about how his mom's not really supportive and his siblings are supportive, but his mom is not. And it's crazy because Chelsea's family is super supportive. And there's nothing against Chelsea, but that's just his mom is just very strict. She has her religious views. He had shared at one point that his mom would be happy. You know, his mom might think he's still a virgin. That might have been 2 episodes ago. And I was like, your mama don't think that. Your mama don't think that. Anyway, his mom wants him to marry, you know, be doing a traditional thing, and he ain't for it. He also said, you know, it's going to be hard because it's like, you moving to Seattle, what's up? And he's like, I don't know about Seattle. Like, I'm trying to get Seattle a chance. And he don't really see it for Seattle. Because he was like, you know, from April to August, he's running around with his shirt off, okay? And then, you know, he getting ready to do his soccer thing. And then August to this, he doing that. And so I guess it gets warmer in Portland. But yeah, that makes sense because Portland's just north of Cali. I forgot how many hours it is from where I live to Portland. But anyway, so I think it's like an 8-hour drive up north from where I live, if I'm not mistaken. I live like kind of in the middle of Cali, y'all, or northern Central Valley. Anyway, that's neither here or there. So they was like, not Seattle, you gonna be running with a coat on, you gonna be running like that. Now, I've been to Seattle before, y'all. I've shared with y'all. It gets cold. When I went, it was February and it snowed, and they were like, no, it usually don't snow here, but it did. I like Seattle, though. I really did. They have some nice men up in there. So I had a good time in Seattle, minus that cold. I can't do that cold, so I'm with Kwame on that. I can't do that cold. So anyway, he was saying his confessional outside, like, Seattle, like, I'm trying, but y'all overselling it, like it's overpriced. He was like, Seattle is giving like it's Lamar Odom with Michael Jordan prices. I said, now why Lamar Odom had to be in it? Why you had to dog him out? But I get what he's saying. He said, Seattle's giving too much that it don't need to give. Now I agree. Seattle's very, very nice city. I loved it there. It kind of reminded me of San Francisco a little bit. But they doing too much. They doing too much. But that's how it is up there. I think it's more expensive than some places here in California, so that's how it is up there. I don't blame them. So I'm like, Chelsea, you gonna have to figure out something else, girl. You might make it down to Portland because I don't see it for Seattle with Kwame. But anywho, you know, they're gonna try to work it out. So I think that was, and then Bliss was talking with her friends at the bachelorette party about the situation and how they're both logical, but you know, they're trying to figure things out, and she hasn't felt this intense connection with somebody. She might have said that before she was getting ready for the wedding. They kind of repeated themselves. It was the same conversations in the wedding episode and the bachelorette and bachelor party. So anyway, Zach was talking to his friends. Everybody was like, let's watch the stripper. Brad's like, y'all missing the show. Zach's like, no, we good off of that. Zach said, you know, he didn't see it for the burlesque. First of all, the burlesque dancer was tired. I'm sorry. I know she got paid to go up there and do a job, but burlesque dancer was tired, okay? Like, why didn't they have some real strippers up there at least? Zach said, you know, his mama was a stripper. He don't got nothing against the profession, but he ain't trying to see that. He said he didn't live that life, and he ain't trying to go back there, okay? So anyway, Zach wasn't here for that. he's telling his friends that, you know, he's been in situation, you know, the same thing he said. He's been in past situations where the family didn't like him. They're like, even though you know, who you are now, because he's a lawyer. So it's like, who wouldn't respect that, at least? Not to say a job makes a person. But I'm just saying, like, he has, you know, he's obviously achieved high and put effort and became successful is what I'm saying. So, they were like, he's like, no, you'll be surprised. Like, there's a lot of, you know, families, and that's why, you know, he mentioned the whole Romeo and Juliet thing. You know, they didn't work out for a reason. And he mentions it again when he's getting ready for his wedding. So anyway, let's get to the weddings, okay? Enough of that foolishness. Let's get down to the weddings, okay? So, we started out with Kwame and Chelsea. Now, this one had me nervous because, you know, Kwame was hemming and hawing too much. He was hemming and hawing. So, you know, they do their little montage. You know, they say what they say. Oh, my God, I've waited for this day my whole life. Oh, my God, yes. So, we get to meet, you know, Kwame's friends. They're like, you know, talking to him. And so then Kwame's siblings came. Oh, my God, I love this scene with Kwame's siblings. Kwame's siblings made me like Kwame even more, okay? Because I wasn't really feeling Kwame in the beginning of the show. Y'all know how I dragged him on the YouTube and the Twitter streets. I'm sorry, Kwame. I'm sorry. But I love learning more about his family and his background. Definitely made me like Kwame more. Okay, so Barbara, I forgot the brother's name. His sister Barbara came and his brother came. And so they were talking to him, and he was wishing, you know, Kwame wished everybody could be here, mom and dad could be here. And then Kwame, the sister was like, I'm so proud of you. You know, remember my wedding day? He's like, yeah, that's the only time we got a good picture of the whole family popping. And so she was like, you know, I love you. You're one of my favorite siblings. You know, we slept in the same bed, and I would have you sleep on my side when we snuck out and all this stuff. And so she was like, I know you wanted mom to be here, but, you know, she is still supporting you. And then they said, Dad, you know, we talked to Dad, and he's like, oh, Dad knows. And they're like, yeah, Dad knows. He supports it. He loves it. He's happy for you. The brother's like, you need to call them. Like, Dad is here for it. And so, you know, maybe Kwame didn't give his family a chance to really, well, the mama said no. But, I mean, maybe he didn't give the dad a chance. And I get that when you feel like your family ain't going to be with it, so you don't really give them a chance to be with it. So, she was like, but I know you want mom here. Mom's your best friend. Like, mom is your... The way they said mom is your best friend is like, that's the only... Kwame's the only one that see it for his mom. The rest of them could... So, they was like, yeah, mom's your best friend. Like, I know you want mom's here. Nothing like... You know, nothing can replace mom, your best friend. And she was like, but, you know, mom's a praying woman. She's into the Bible and all that good stuff. So she's praying for you no matter what. You are covered, you know. She was like, Kwame, do you still pray? They was like, the brother's like, you know he ain't praying. So then she's like, he ain't sent up a prayer in a long time. She was like, yes, Kwame, you know what? I'm going to tell mama you ain't praying. That's how we're going to get you out the will. I knew there's a way to cut you out the will. Mama going to find out you ain't been praying. She ain't going to be here for that. I said, that is funny. That was funny. And so, because that's how our families be doing. So anyway, because my grandma was always trying to threaten to cut people out. Like, girl. So anyway, then they had so the brothers like, okay, let's have a word of prayer. They had a little word of prayer that was good. Kwame, you better get back to praying, okay? So anywho, they had the word of prayer that was good. So then Barbara went over there to talk to Chelsea, because Chelsea was explaining how her friends and family, like, they want her to marry a traditional Ghanaian, Kwame, I'm sorry, they want Kwame to marry a traditional Ghanaian woman, and that's what it is. But she said Barbara FaceTimed her the night before, and and gave Chelsea really good support. So Barbara was the family hero for me. Barbara went over there and talked to Chelsea. She gave her a gift. She was like, I'm happy, Chelsea. We are here for Chelsea. We want to share Chelsea with us. Like, come on. And so she was just going up for Chelsea. She gave Chelsea a gift. She said, this is something new. This is something blue. She said, this is from Ghana. Traditional Ghanaian women have made this. She asked, do you know about the Kente clock, girl? Okay, so this is what it is over here. And this is for you. Of course, Chelsea was crying. That was really nice of Barbara. Like, Barbara extended herself. That was super nice of her. So anyway, she went over there and, she's like, Chelsea, like, we're wishing you the best, welcome to the family. And if you say no, girl, I'm like, come back and bring you back. Like, she's like, don't break Kwame's heart. Okay. And so then that was a really beautiful moment. Like, I really was happy to see Barbara come through for Kwame. Like, even if Barbara was faking it till she make it, like, it was wonderful to see. Chelsea let her mom know that the bracelets her mom had gave her, she thought about her deposit. She was falling in love with Kwame, and she was wearing the bracelets, and her mom shared this in a moment. Chelsea looked very good. When Chelsea put on her makeup, okay, before she wake up and have her hair wet, Chelsea looked so gorgeous. Not saying she wasn't pretty with her all being dolled up. I'm just saying she looked really pretty with the makeup and the hair done. Okay. So then we get down to the wedding, right? And Kwame and Barbara was talking. Barbara was like, well, you never saw our wedding day? And she was like, he's like, nah, but he nervous today. He was super nervous. She's like, did you do your speech? Nah, he gonna wing it. I'm kind of a wing it girl too. Like a little prep, but a lot of winging. So, and then she was like, well, I've never seen your wedding day. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Kwame like he was gonna pass out or throw up. He said he had cold feet. He said that's to be expected. Okay. So then we get up there to the altar, and Chelsea said, I do first. And then Kwame had a pause, and then, they cut it off to go to the next episode. Of course, we got to have a cliffhanger. So, now, in my mind, Kwame wanted to say no. And when I was watching it, y'all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is probably not right, but I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I was watching it, I said, Kwame, even if it's a no, say yes in this moment. And try to ride it out, at least to pass the reunion. Because if Kwame said no up there, it was going to be worse. It was going to be a bigger blow. So I was like, at least say yes in this moment, even if it's not a yes. No, yes, it's a lie. I know it ain't really him living in his truth, blah, 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 blah. But we already have dragged Kwame and crucified Kwame, right, in this process, because he looked like he was playing with Chelsea the whole time, especially when Micah would be around. So I said, at least say yes at the altar, because you're going to look like a bigger a-hole if you say no at the altar. That was my feelings. And he said yes. And maybe his yes was genuine, okay? Maybe I didn't need to give him no coaching, okay? I'm sorry if y'all think I'm wrong for that. I'm sorry. You can let me know in the comments. But I was like, whatever you do, Kwame, in this moment, do not say no. Say yes, okay? And he did. And maybe his yes was genuine. I don't know yet. We're going to see at the reunion. We're going to see. People's true colors going to come out regardless, though. So that's why I'm like, it don't matter. Even if they break it up, we saw that coming. Hopefully it works out, though, because I think Chelsea deserves love. Kwame deserves love. So, anyway, okay, now we get down to Micah and Paul. Y'all already knew how this was going to go, because there was no love there. Paul was him and Han the whole time, talking to his dad and his stepmom and his mom, like, I don't know, like, how to make the decision, because what if I don't say the right thing at the right time and the wrong thing, and I'm supposed to say this? He was confusing me. Paul was doing equations. I was like, Paul, it's a yes or a no. He was confusing me. The dad was like, it's between your brain and your heart, that's just having that common battle. He was like, I know, but I typically don't go off my emotions. He needs to, like, you gotta do what makes you happy. He's like, I typically don't do that. The stepmom was like, yeah, you will, you good, like, you good. So Micah's parents was talking to her, and she saying something about her parents were divorced. I thought Paul was her real dad, or maybe Paul and I forgot her mama name, ain't together. I don't know. I thought they was together, so I was confused by that. And that's their only child. The mom was telling Micah, like, girl, just because you love somebody don't mean it's going to work out. Like, just let you know. Because mom already saw it. So, anyway, they're getting all dressed and ready. Shelby was there. Y'all, Shelby was there. Shelby was throwing shade the whole time. Did y'all catch all Shelby's little shade? And so they get, so Paul, he still don't know what he going to do. He's like, I wish I knew the right decision. I wish I knew what to do. I wish it was easy. I don't know what to do, because if I say this and do that. I was like, Paul, just say no. Because Paul said he still was unsure. When Paul kept saying, I'm still unsure, I knew it was going to be a no. Because you know how Brett was strong on his yes? Brett didn't hesitate or waver on his yes. Kwame was a toss-up. But Paul, if it was like, oh, I don't know, it's a no. It's a no. So anyway, they get down to the altar. Micah looked beautiful in her outfit as well, in her dress, and her hair and her makeup as well. So they said their little vows and whatever. So then when it was time, when the pastor said, okay, Micah, do you take Paul to be your husband, blah, blah, blah. She said, I think the best thing to do in this decision is to let you go first, Paul. And then I can make my decision. I said, this is not how it works. It's not how it works. When you ask to make your decision, you make your decision. Your decision should not be based on somebody else's decision. So I said, when she did that, she set Paul up for the okie doke. I said, and Paul went on to say, I love you, Micah, but we already knew. And he's like, no, my decision is a no. And then she was like, yeah, I knew that it was best to let you go first because she said basically she had him go first because she said she needed that final moment of him to show and prove that he really did love her. And she knows that, like, if it was a no, then he didn't really love her like that. And so basically, if he would have said yes, she would say yes. If he would have said no, she would have said no. But no, that's not how it works. Like, the decisions are separate. Like, your yes and no shouldn't be based on their yes and no, which just means that you wasn't really in this. You were always unsure. You were scared to get hurt. I said that was not right because basically Micah set Paul up to be the fall guy, to look like the bad guy. Because if she would have said no first, she would have looked like the B word that she's been all season. Okay, let's not sugarcoat it. Okay, so that's why she had him go first, so he would look like the villain. I said, that ain't right. That was not right. And, you know, Micah, you were very rude all season. You were nasty down to the paws with Irina. And you got Paul to be nasty with you, the way he had to let go with Amber and play in Amber's face. And so, in my opinion, y'all both got what y'all deserve. I'm sorry. That's what it was. So then, you know, she go running and crying. He trying to tell her, you know, I still love you, but I don't think this is the right decision for us. He went after her. She's like, I want you to leave. I want you to leave. And he's like, no, I still love you. Like, I just don't feel like this was the right decision for us at this time. But, you know, I still love you. I always loved you. All this stuff. And so then they cried in each other's arms. And then the family came. They standing there like, So she's like, I think you need to leave. And then she left. And then Paul felt really bad. And he said in his confessional that he just didn't feel like things were right. He didn't feel like things were right. And we could see they weren't right. He said he felt like the love was never, and affection and stuff was never reciprocated. And so he said he didn't know if it was like her doing that on purpose, having her guard up. He didn't know if she was doing that because she didn't know she would receive it back, but that's how it always was. Like, he just didn't see a future with them. He even said something about even seeing her being a mother, and, you know, people usually have that nurturing thing about them, but he couldn't even picture her being a mother. I said, ooh, ouch. What was the tea? Paul better give us all the tea on the reunion. Please give us all the tea on the reunion, Paul. What was Micah really doing in them streets? So he didn't see it for her. He said it really broke him to have to even, you know, make that decision. But I think Paul made the right decision for him. But, you know, you could have went with Amber and been happy. That's all I'm going to say. But y'all both played yourself. So anywho, then Micah talking about her confessional that, like, you know, the love and everything was never reciprocated and never shown, and he never showed her, and so that's why she knew to let him go first and see what decision he would make. I'm like, girl. But maybe if you would have said yes, he would have said yes. Oh, they both full of it. Y'all both got what y'all deserve. Then the mama back there talking about, what is he, a stupid idiot? Like, you wasted your time. You could have made a connection with somebody else and be here with somebody else. Like, he wasted your time. So now the mama over there ganging up on Paul as well. When you need to look at how much of a villain your daughter is. Like, no. So that didn't work out. We saw that coming. Okay, Shelby was over there talking about, oh, I need to be drunker for this. And she's like, oh, this all played out the way I wanted it to. This all went how I wanted it to. Nasty. Micah, you and your friends are nasty. Nasty. Anyway, let's get to Brett and Tiffany, the one we was waiting for, the one we was hoping for, praying for, okay? So Brett and Tiffany getting ready for their wedding day. When Tiffany was in the bridal suite, the train went by. I said, what the hell train is that? And people was all on the train. That was cool. She said that was a good sign. Yes, it was. And so they show their little package. Brett gets down there. His friends and family get down there. His friend, Curtis was cute. Curtis is a little short. But Curtis was cute in the face. So I said, hey, Curtis. So anyway, he was talking to them. They was asking him, is he really ready? He said, you know, he's going to just speak from his heart, and he hopes that Tiffany receives it. And so, like, I already knew Brett was saying yes, and Tiffany was saying yes. And so Brett was talking about the situation when his brother passed away before he was supposed to get married, and he's like, I, you know, wonder and fear, what if something like that happens today? And so they're like, you know, you just can't worry about that. I can't do the what ifs, Brett. But I get it. That was traumatic. And so then his dad came and his cousin came, and the dad was like, I got my crying towel here for you just in case you need it. The Brett was like, no, what do you need it? And so the friend was like, y'all both don't need it. And so, you know, they all catch up and everything. And then Tiffany's dad came in there, Lewis, which was the first time I think we got to see him. And he talked with Brett. And Brett was just saying, you guys raised an amazing daughter. And, well, first Brett was explaining something about the shoes, about how the shoes were designed or something. And so then he's saying, I think the dad had those shoes before they changed or whatever. And so then Brett was saying, growing up, they couldn't afford those things, and him and his family went through a lot. And so Lewis said, he couldn't afford Jordan's nothing growing up either. He grew up with a single mother. His dad was not around, but his mom worked to give him everything he wanted. And he said he didn't want to be that kind of father. He knew when he had a family, so that's why him and his wife worked to be there for Tiffany and the family and all that. And so he asked Brett, was he in it for the long haul? He said, me and my wife have been together 42 years. And Brett said, yes, I am. He said he didn't waver. He didn't shake. He's like, yes, I am. Like, come on, confidence. So he said, my parents have been together, about the same amount of years. And he also shared that his mom has a mental health condition, and his dad is stuck with his mom through all of that. And his mom is stuck with his dad through everything they've been through, and they've been through a lot. And so he sees that. And like I said, he said that, they've raised an amazing daughter. And the dad seems happy with Brett. And he said just, there's no doubt in his mind about Tiffany. And so I was like, oh, it was beautiful, beautiful. Tiffany has very lovely parents, and Brett has a very lovely family as well. I loved seeing the fact that we have these two Black people. We have Tiffany and Brett, okay? And I'm just going to get on this for a minute, y'all. And then we see Brett has two parents that have been together for 42 years. And we have Tiffany's parents who've been together for about 42 years. And they are still together. And they are Black families. And that just shows just a good example of Black families working through whatever issues they've been through and sticking together. I think we don't see those kind of positive images of Black families enough anymore on the TV. So to see it on a platform as big as Love Is Blind and as Netflix was amazing to me. And to see people so genuinely coming together as Brett and Tiffany, like, there's no doubt in your mind that Brett is here for Tiffany. There's no doubt in your mind that Tiffany is here for Brett. They're not playing games. It's meant to be. And so this was just so beautiful to see. I seen people saying they was crying for the weddings, and I was like, oh, why was they crying? But then when it got to Brett and Tiffany, I was crying too, y'all. I was crying too. It was like Black love, Black excellence, Black, oh, it was beautiful, beautiful. Love my people, okay? Especially when they doing it big like this. So Tiffany and her suite, the friends were saying how happy they are for her, and they were like, she's like, Brett better say yes. If he don't, she was like, I was rooting for you. They was like, we was all rooting for you. They did the Tyra Banks. We was rooting for you. So I was like, yeah, we will be pissed if Brett said no. And then they were like, no, we know it's going to work out, girl. It's going to work out. Like, the girl with the curly hair was like, girl, he ain't that crazy. So then the mama came. She was like, look at my baby. And so they were like, how, you all calm, cool, and collected, mom. Like, what's good? And then she's like, no, I already knew. Like, when Tiffany came to me crying, talking about, Mom, he's amazing and all this, she's already knew. Like, that's, it was for her. And they were like, you like Brett? She's like, yes, I love Brett. Like, he's amazing. And so mama like him, daddy like him. It's all good. Okay, so then they get ready to walk down the aisle, and it's just gorgeous. But before they can walk down the aisle, Brett was getting dressed, and his pants were too big. Now the pants did look a mess. Now I don't know who's supposed to, do the alterations, but they didn't alter them right. So he was like, these pants are not fitting right. Like, what's going on? He's like, nothing's supposed to go wrong today. Like, everything is planned out. This should not be happening today. And so then the brother's like, yeah, my stuff ain't really fitting right either. He's like, okay, but this ain't got nothing to do with you today. This is my day. Like, it really don't matter. Like, my pants ain't fitting right. The brother's like, okay, but you ain't got to come at me crazy. I said, oh, that's the thing about Brett. Brett is very, very particular. He is very particular. And I get it. I could be very particular as well. So, I think that also Brett has, grown up in some situations. He mentioned poverty and all those things. He probably dealt with a lot of things that were out of his control. So now as an adult, I think is so particular about things and wants to look a certain way. It's about control. And I very, very much relate to that. And so that's why I'm discussing that. Okay, I'm no therapist or nothing, but that's just what I see. So alterations was so bad for Brett. He not wearing them pants like that. He ran down to the seamstress. I said, did we even got time for this, Brett? Because you won't be late. Brett ran down to the seamstress. He got the alterations done. He sat there and waited for lady. He gave her the hug. Like, yes, she fixed them pants. He's already, this is good. She tightened them pants all up. he went back down. He was still on time for the wedding, y'all. I said, was that a scheme set up by production? Did production mess them pants up on purpose to pull something out of Brett? I don't know. What y'all think? So anyway, then, you know, Brett made it on time because I was nervous. He got his pants fixed. And Marshall came. So Marshall came to support Brett, which I was hoping Marshall was going to come to one of the weddings and Brett's wedding would be the obvious choice, right? So he came to support Brett and Brett was happy to see him. They was talking about, you know, I love you, dude, from the bottom of my heart. I was like, come on, black brotherly love. You know, Marshall said it does feel type of way because he thought, you know, this would be happening for him as well. And Brett was like, no, don't even worry about that. It wasn't meant to be. Whatever meant to be will be, and that was not meant to be. Exactly. It was not meant to be. So, but I'm so glad Marshall came and supported him. That was awesome. So they walked down the aisle. It started raining. I was like, is the guests getting rained on? Because I'm not going to sit at your wedding and be rained on. Side note, y'all seen everybody had on petticoats and jackets and everything? Because up there it's cold, y'all. I hope we was all in tents and had some heaters out there. Anyway, and then the brides had to be down there with no sleeves. I was like, oh no. So it started raining, like I said. Also, did y'all see the same makeup artist was doing the girl with the dreads, the black girl with the dreads? She had to do everybody makeup. They had her working day and night, okay? So anyway, they get down to the altar. They say they vows. I believe Tiffany went first. No, Brett went first, and he kind of paused, of course, and he's like, I absolutely do. And so then, you know, Tiffany, same thing, did a pause, and she said she definitely, you know, definitely does. However they said it. And so, of course, they worked out. Yeah, that was the one we knew was a yes for sure. We ain't had to debate that one. If that would have been enough, we would have been shocked. We would have been crying for real. So anyway, now we get down to Bliss and Zach. Now, Bliss and Zach, I was like, they better say yes because they didn't took us through all this with Zach choosing twice. So they better say yes. But I wasn't sure because Bliss, you know, when she was talking to Zach, and I think I forgot to mention when she was talking to Zach in the hot tub, or that might have been the last episode. I don't know. Bliss kept giving the, like, I'm going to give you a way out vibe. And I didn't like that. So anyway, you know, they were getting ready. Zach was talking to his friends or groomsmen again, talking about the whole Romeo and Juliet, how they were like, well, why did you choose somebody else first? And so he basically explained he was going to choose Bliss the night before. But then they got into a little argument, and he was trying to explain to her, like, you know, I don't know if your family going to like me. I've been in these situations where people didn't like me. The friends were like for real? Like, knowing who you are? And he's like, yeah, you know. People wasn't feeling it for me because of the way I grew up. And so he was like, she felt like he was dismissive of her. And so that's why he chose Irina. And I can see that now. He didn't really give Bliss a chance, full chance, but I get it. And so that's why he never go to Irina. But he had told somebody that he knew he made the wrong decision when he did it. And so anyway, he was like, yeah, I do like her mom and dad. Like, you know, the mom is the same. The dad, you know, he's like, I do like the dad. He's intelligent. He was giving me that side eye, but he likes him. The friend was like, well, I got $2, so I would do the same thing. And they're like, yeah, rightfully so. And so then Zach's and grandma and his sister came in there. I said, oh, he got grandma too. Zach got all this extended family. Why was they letting the mom struggle and strip and move everywhere? But maybe the mom just wanted to do whatever she wanted to do. She was an adult. You can't make somebody get it together. But I'm so curious about Zach's life. I'm so curious because grandma was there. Was that her daughter stripping? Anyway, like, what's the tea on the family, Zach? So, you know, he was wishing everybody could be there. He wished his mom would be there. That was sad. And he said he knows his mom would be there and she would support him. She supported everything he did. And so she's with you in spirit, Zach. And so Bliss was saying, you know, they both very logical, but, you know, this is their emotional side. And she, you know, she's hoping this is, like, I don't know, Bliss was giving, like, I'm not really sure if I'm doing the right thing, but I'm gonna do it anyway, kind of thing. Then her mom and dad, you know, they're gonna, okay, now Bliss's dress and her look looked way better than when she tried it on. Like, seeing it all together, I was like, okay, she was very, very pretty. Not my style of dress. I don't like all that poof sleeve and the poof down at the bottom. But it looked very pretty on her and her hair looked good. Everything looked good. So, Anyway, then their mom and dad go to walk down the aisle. The dad is over there like, oh, I hope he can keep up with you. I hope he can do this. I was like, shut up, dad. Her dad was annoying me. And mom was like, look at me. I'm very proud of you. I love you. She's like, thank you, mom. He was, and then they're like crying, like getting teary eyed. He's like, I'm getting a tear in my eyes. Like, no, I'm just playing. But no, you know, hopefully it works out. But just know, well, no matter what, it's going to work out. No matter what, it's going to be okay. He's like, you got your family at the end of the day. He does not trust in Bliss's decision making for whatever reason. And I guess maybe she's brought some horrible guys home. I don't know. But anyway, they walked down the aisle. I was like, you making her nervous. And Bliss and Zach both said yes, which I was like, thank God. Because if y'all play in our faces, I'm going to be mad and waste our time. I'm going to be mad, okay? Because y'all messing up the whole process with Zach making double decisions and then Bliss is jumping back into the process. So y'all better say yes. Anyway, they did say yes. So we got our couples. We got Kwame and Chelsea, Tiffany and Brett, and we got Bliss and Zach, okay? Irina fumbled the bag at the honeymoon. Jackie and Marcia fell apart. They shouldn't even been together. And Paul and Micah didn't work out because they played themselves in the pods, okay? And that was it, y'all. So now we are all caught up at the Brady Yvonne channel. We are ready for the reunion over here. So I will hopefully catch y'all tonight for the reunion. If I don't do the video tonight, then I'll definitely do it tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.